everyone, welcome. We are here in Ghosts on Earth and sponsored by the Delray Zombies and Delray Beach Ghost Tours. And we have a special guest tonight here to tell us a few personal stories. So this is Nicole. She's one of our zombies in the Delray Zombies. Stay tuned for that. Nicole, what can you tell us about your stories?
Well, I have an interesting story that happened to me when I was in Argentina and I was studying anthropology. I was an anthropologist at the time, and I was invited with another anthropologist friend to go up to a very remote area in northwestern Argentina, which is like the southwest of the United States. It's desert and it's very open. And we were invited by the university there, and we went to a very remote village that had an old abandoned town that the university used as an archeological site. And we stayed at the little university center at the base of this hill that had this old ancient city that was just rock walls, and people during the day would go and take tours and walk around. So my friend and I thought it would be really fun to go up at night and sneak in and spend the night up there. Ooh. So we were a bit naughty because, of course, you're not supposed to go into places like that at night. So I keep that in mind, but we were very careful not to hurt anything. We were extremely respectful of the place, and we wanted to have the experience of sleeping under the stars in this old ancient place called the Pucará. And so we snuck in, we walked up the hill at night, and we had our little backpacks with our sleeping bag, and pitch dark, no moon, just the stars, brilliant stars. And the ground is gravel. So as we're walking, all you could hear was crunch, 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 crunch. And we were very quiet because we were sneaking in, but still our feet made this crunch, crunch, crunch. So we get up, we sneak in, we go into this walled city, and we walk in and we go deep into it, and we say, okay, we're gonna go sleep in that room. None of the rooms have, ceilings on. They're all open. They used to be thatch when people lived in there. And so we were sleeping in our sleeping bags, or we were lying down in our sleeping bags. We were so excited. It was totally quiet, like nothing. There's nothing around. The village is where the people are, way down below. Absolutely quiet, no lights, nothing. And so we're just talking about life and looking up at the stars, and all of a sudden a rock is thrown right into the wall behind us. So we're sleeping on the ground on our back, and then boom, a rock hits the back of the wall. So we freeze in a panic, like, who threw the rock? First thinking a kid snuck in here, are we in danger? Or then, no, maybe it was an animal, it could have been a little fox. All the logic running through our head, but we realized there's no way anybody could sneak up on us because any step you make in here makes that crunch, crunch, crunch. It was so loud. So we said, okay, nobody snuck in here. We heard the rock again, it gets thrown again, bang, against the back of our heads. Didn't hit us, but it hits the wall right behind us. Okay. We said, okay, it can't be a squirrel, like all the things. It couldn't be a mouse. It couldn't be all the things. And we heard it a few more times. And then we realized there was no explanation for this that was logical, that a rock being thrown, horizontally right at our heads. And so we packed up and walked out of there. and we spent the night back in our room. And one detail is that later, when we researched a little more, we realized the exact room that we stayed in was where they did the flint knapping, where they made tools and did the stonework. And so I thought it was the perfect place if somebody wanted to get our attention to throw a little rock in our direction. And that is my story.
Wow, what a story. Would you go back in there?
I would definitely go back. I think I would sneak back again. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, I love it. But I know that you have a second story for us to tell us. So please share with us.
Okay, so I have one more, and this happened where I was living in Argentina, which is a place called Cordoba, the center part of Argentina in the hills. And very interestingly enough, they say there is a underground city there called Erks, E-R-K-S. And they say it's in a different dimension, so you can't see anything, but that spaceships come and go into Erks. And the wild thing is, living there, everybody that lives there has experienced at night, you see lights on the horizon that look like stars, but they move. And they go up and then they go down. And then they go up and they go down. And they go up and they go down. So we kind of get used to seeing these lights. You don't see them all the time, but you see that. And they say those are the spaceships going in and out to Earth. I lived about 40 miles away from where this city supposedly is. And one night I was with my friend, and this is the interesting thing because I was with another friend, so I have, a witness that had the same exact experience where we were outside, again, another night. Thing about Argentina, it's South America, and the stars there are much brighter than our stars. So on a moonless night, it's like really dramatic. So it was one of those nights we were outside on my terrace, pitch black, and we were watching, we looked at one light, and we both saw it at the same time. There was one light, and it was floating towards us, and we saw it like a fairy. We compared notes later, but I was watching it, and I saw it, and it had a little tail, like the little dots that came off, and like the wings, and it was floating and floating, and we were both completely shocked that we couldn't speak, and we were, terrified. We were both pointing at this light. And at the moment we were so scared, the whole light condensed, it like compressed, and then it was a helicopter. It became a helicopter on the horizon, and it was the loudest noise of doo, 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 the sub beat of the helicopter then floated away. And so we looked at each other and we said, did you just see what I saw? And she described the same thing. It was a fairy. I saw the tail, I saw the wings, and then I saw it condense into a helicopter. I don't know what that was, but it was some crazy lights that play tricks on you at night.
Amazing. So thank you for sharing your stories with us, and you're a really good storyteller, just so you know. But has anyone in the audience have had any experiences similar to these ones? And if you have, please leave a comment down below. We will be happy to reply and share your stories also. So stay tuned for more. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the stories. I sure did. And for anyone out there interested in ghosts, spirits, aliens, or anything strange, please join our group on Facebook. It's Ghosts on Earth. And of course, follow us on all their social media. And don't forget to check out our friends from Delray Beach Ghost Tours. See you next time.